Click-Clack Mountain. Once upon a time there was an old man and his wife who lived in a little farmhouse surrounded by mountains. This kind old couple had a very good friend, a bunny rabbit, who lived on the mountain in front. The bunny who would come almost every day to visit the old couple. He loved them very, very much, and they in turn treated him just like a child of their own. Now, there was also a tanuki, a kind of badger who lived on the mountain in back, and who would often come to the old folks' farm. But his tanuki was a real troublemaker, and he loved eating almost as much as he loved making trouble. He would sneak into the barn, tip over barrels, and nibble on all the fruits and vegetables the old man had worked so hard to grow. Once, the tanuki even dragged the old man's hat and shovel outside just to be mean. When the old man shouted at him, would you believe it? The tanuki threw the shovel and hat on the roof and ran away, laughing. The rascal. Our story begins one day soon after that, when the old man went out to his field to plant some beans. As he was hoeing the neat rows, along came the wicked tanuki. The tanuki found the basket with all the beans in it, and when the old man wasn't looking, he dragged it away and ate all the beans up. Then he called it, "Nya, nya, 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 nya. Stupid old man. Ho, 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 but where are your beans?" Now the old man was very patient and good-tempered, but enough was enough. He ran after the tanuki, caught him by the tail, tied his legs together, and carried him to the house. "Your trouble-making days are over," said the old man angrily. He tied the other end of the rope to the kitchen rafters, and left the tanuki hanging upside down. Then, after telling his wife to keep an eye on the troublemaker, the old man went out to the field again. Left alone in the house with the old man's wife, the tanuki began to plan out something. "There must be a way out of this," he thought. "I know. I'll make the old woman feel sorry for me." So the crafty tanuki pretended to weep. "Good woman," he sobbed. "What a stupid boy I have been." Sniff, sniff. "Just once before I die, I'd like to do a good deed. Please untie me, kind lady. Untie me so I can help you with your housework." Tears were streaming down the tanuki's nose and falling on the kitchen floor. "Kind woman, you're not as young as you used to be. It hurts me to see you work so hard. Please let me help you." The old woman hesitated, but she shook her head and said, "You can't fool me." I know, said the tanuki. "You think I'm trying to trick you? But would I lie when I'm about to be killed? After I've helped you, you can tie me up again. I'm being honest." The good old woman was just too soft-hearted. She hated to see anyone cry, and the tanuki looked so pitiful and harmless hanging upside down that at last she gave in. She untied him and said, "Okay, take this mallet and pound the rice for me." "Yes, ma'am," said the tanuki, taking the heavy wooden mallet. "I'm good at pounding things like old ladies, for instance." He swung the mallet around it and hit the old woman over the head. She fell to the floor, and the tanuki ran outside, squealing with glee. The old man was coming back from the field when he saw the tanuki running away. "Hey, you blasted tanuki! What did you do to Grandma?" he shouted. Imagine how he felt when he found his wife lying dead on the kitchen floor. "Oh no!" he cried. "Oh no!" The next day the old man dug a grave for his wife, and stood before it weeping. Next to him sat the bunny rabbit from the mountain in front. The bunny was crying too. "I'll get that dirty tanuki for this," he said. "Don't worry, Grandpa, I'll get revenge." A few days later, the rabbit sat near his home on the mountain in front, waiting for the tanuki to pass by. At the rabbit's feet was a bundle of firewood he had gathered. At last the tanuki came along. chewing on some wild berries. "What you doing, Rabbit?" he asked. The rabbit looked at him and smiled sweetly. "I'm trying to gather firewood, but I hurt my poor little foot." "I'll carry your firewood for you, as long as it's downhill," Tanuki said. "Oh, thank you, Mr. Tanuki." The rabbit helped the Tanuki strap the bundle of firewood to his back, and they started down the mountain. As they walked along, the rabbit took out a flint stone and began to strike it against a piece of metal. He was trying to set fire to the wood on the Tanuki's back. "Hey, Rabbit, what's that click-clack sound I hear?" "Oh, that's nothing. That's only the Click-Clack bird from the Click-Clack Mountain," the rabbit said, striking the flint. "Oh," said the Tanuki. At last a spark from the flint caught a dry leaf and the firewood began to burn. Soon the sticks were popping and crackling as the flames grew larger. "Hey, Rabbit," said the Tanuki, "what's that crackle sound I hear?" "Oh, that's nothing. It's only the crackle bird from the Crackle Mountain." "Oh," said the Tanuki. He shrugged and continued walking down the mountain, not knowing that the bundle of wood strapped to his back was aflame. After a while, the Tanuki started to sweat. "Sure is hot," he said. "Hey, oh, yikes! I'm on fire!" The Tanuki ran down the mountain, screaming, until he came to the river and dived in. Splash! Shh! The Tanuki's back was badly burned. "If I find that rabbit, I'll murder him," he growled as he climbed out of the river. Well, he didn't have to look very far. He found a rabbit sitting on a rock nearby, sipping miso soup. "You've had it all, pal," said the Tanuki. "You must be mistaking me for someone else," said the bunny innocently. "I'm from the mountain in the middle. I've never been to the mountain in front before." "Are you sure?" "Sure I am," said the rabbit. "Say, Mr. Tanuki, you've got a bad burn on your back. You know, this soup is good for burns. Let me rub some of it on you." "Oh, thank you," said the Tanuki. Now, the miso soup the rabbit was eating had lots of red pepper in it, and it was very hot. The rabbit dumped the whole bowl on the Tanuki's back. "Hee! It burns!" cried the Tanuki, as he ran stumbling back down the mountain toward the river. He had been fooled again. "Next time I find that rabbit, I really will kill him," the Tanuki grumbled as he sat steaming in the river. Well, it wasn't long before he ran into the rabbit, who was busily building himself a wooden boat a short distance upstream. "You rat!" snarled the Tanuki. "Putting a dirty trick like that, you can kiss your cotton tail. Goodbye, buddy." "You must be mistaking me for someone else," said the rabbit, blinking. "I'm from the mountain over yonder." "The mountain over yonder?" said the Tanuki suspiciously. "Are you sure?" "Sure I am," said the bunny. "Say, would you like to eat some fish?" "Fish? Sure I would." "Well then," said the rabbit, "let's each build a boat. You're big and heavy, Mr. Tanuki, so you better make one out of mud." All the Tanuki could think about now was eating fish. He loved eating fish. So he started making a boat out of mud from the river bank, while the rabbit finished building his own wooden boat. When the two boats were ready, they put them in the river and began paddling. But as soon as the Tanuki's mud boat got good and wet, it started to fall apart. "Oh!" cried the Tanuki. "Help! I can't swim!" "Remember what you did to Grandma? Well, here's a taste of your own medicine," shouted the bunny, smashing the Tanuki over the head with his paddle. "Oh no, you're the rabbit from the mountain in front, after all!" The Tanuki screamed as he sank into the river with his mud boat. Glub, glub, glub. And that's how the rabbit got his revenge on the wicked Tanuki.